Hey, what up, chat? I'm back. I'm back in here, raggedy. I'm in the house. I'm not raggedy. I feel good. I feel good. I feel positive. I'm happy to be here with y'all today. If you in the house, come in the room. Come in the room. I'm gonna do a couple of reactions. I'm trying to develop my radio voice. This will be all sensual reactions. The Sensual Reaction Channel. Late nights. I'll be back on it. 12 a.m. Nah. I got some interesting stuff I've been checking out, man. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna teach you a little bit about I'm gonna be an anthropologist for you people. We're gonna speak about human beings and how they differ so little between the races. We also got a story about, I gotta do the celeb stuff. Hurricane Chris out there tripping, wilding, speaking out the side of his neck for no reason, and I'm a side of the neck talker, so this is serious judgment. And he's hollering at 50 Cent and 50 Cent's response. And I also have a very special video sent to me by my dear mom about what we should do about this crime in the inner cities. So with no further ado, please come into the room. Please come into the room. And we're going to start with good old-fashioned water pie. My favorite. Listen, I know on this channel, a lot of times people are lying. I've been called racist a fair amount of times. Enough to question whether or not I'm promoting racism. I don't think I am. I am certainly a pro-black. No doubt about it. I'm certainly pro-black. I love my people. And I am concerned about our conditions. Let's say it like that. Although I'm always saying crazy stuff and appearing to be just a fool, just a clown. Y'all see the logo. Oh, I don't got the logo up. All right. More nigga shit. But no. I'm always talking about black people's issues and things that affect us. And I've been accused of being a racist. I really have. I've been accused of a lot of stuff, but racist. I don't think that one applies. I don't think that one applies because you're pro-black. Because someone is pro-black doesn't mean you're anti something else. This is also true. It's just that my concerns are with my group. You know what I mean? But what's also true is fundamentally, we all the same. You hear me, chat? We the same people. I hear a lot of talk about, black people disproportionately commit X amount of crime. Over 50% of the murders or 48% of the murders are committed by the African American community, and that may be true. My personal theory on that is because we're on the bottom. I don't care where you go, what country you go to, what society you're in. The people on the bottom, that's where the crime happens. It's just that simple. And somehow, over time, we've been convinced, I ain't gonna say who convinced us, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna make no assumptions, but we've been convinced somewhere along our lineage that being on the bottom is synonymous with being black. And that's the problem, because you don't see, it's not, people try to argue, it's just genetic. Black people they're just that way. That's not true, because Africans don't come here and have those situations. They don't have those same problems. They got plenty of problems of their own, but they don't hate each other the way we do, you know? They may hate the next group of Africans and, all those other problems that come with that. But that's the tribalism that comes with the human species. This is a long way around the block. I'm just trying to let y'all come in the room. My point is, black people and white people are no different. And when you on the bottom, you do shit like you on the bottom. And this right here, grandma's water pie. If you ever had a sugar sandwich or a mayonnaise sandwich or a syrup sandwich or just a balled up piece of bread or government grilled cheese, those are the best grilled cheeses. If you missed that period in American history, then I'm sorry for you. Anyway, grandma's water pie, y'all. Let's take a look at it and check it out.
Our ancestors have
Hold on.
used what they had to provide for their needs and sometimes their wants. Today's water pie is one of those recipes.
Nigga, water pie. Water. What? Water pie, nigga? All right. My point is, come on, film me. Go ahead, grandmama, cook it.
That they use to be able to put dessert on the table and just using a few basic ingredients to do so. We'll begin by preheating the oven to 400 degrees.
Okay, 400.
While we're putting together the pie. The first
That's right, you start with a pie.
thing you need is a 9-inch deep dish pie crust. Store-bought or homemade, whichever way you want to do it. I would suggest, my biggest tip is to place it on a baking sheet, and I cover mine with foil just so I don't have the extra mess. In case I spill anything, I won't have to clean it in the pan, and I definitely won't have to clean it out of the bottom of my oven by using a pan.
That's right. When you use a pan, you got to make sure everything is tight.
So just an extra tip there. Now here's where it may start to seem odd, but all you do is add 1.5 cups of water.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Chat, feel me. We the same, man. This lady put a 1.5 cups of water in a pie crust, man. If that ain't the most hood.
Just tap water's fine. Just whatever your favorite water is.
Whatever your favorite water is, just pour it on in there. Why does she even have aluminum foil under it? There's water in the pie. Jesus Christ. I'm about to cook me one. That's kind of freaky. I'll give me a water pie. Get some of that water pie. Oh man, this is amazing. It might turn out good though. As long as you don't put like soy sauce or nothing strange in there. They ain't gonna do that. They ain't had no soy sauce. This is Depression era, man. We got pie crust and water. Come on, man. Shout out to this lady. What's her name? Hold on, give me a second. Let me find out this lady's name. Shout out to her. Make sure we show love. Water pie, Great Depression era dessert. Her name is the Mountain Patriot Homestead. I don't know if she feels she's feeling me. I don't know if she's gonna approve of this. Hopefully she does. Shout out to Mountain Prairie Homestead lady. We don't have to hate one another. You had water pie. I had sugar sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? We even. I bring you a little water pie. I mean, you can bring me a little water pie. You know what I'm saying? I give you a government grilled cheese. You know what I mean? Some sugar water. I feel her. Come on, shorty. Let's do it. Let's do it, grandmama.
Half cups of water directly into the pie crust.
Directly, nigga.
Next, I mix 1 cup of granulated sugar with 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Just mix it in well so it is all incorporated. This is in a separate bowl. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I could use a spoon.
Why is she trying to act like it's more ingredients so it's more to it? You put water and sugar and flour in a pie crust and cook it. It's probably delicious. It's probably like a gel, it's probably all right.
To sprinkle this over the water.
Oh, you're going to sprinkle it. Okay. It's going to have a water. You want to slice it into. Oh, man. I love this. I love this. I love this. Water pie, baby.
But I'm not going to.
And that's the thing. It's like, black people, we done convinced ourselves we always in the Great Depression. You know what I mean? I wish we'd have known about this. Well, see, and this is another reason they should not keep the poor whites and the poor blacks apart, man. We can learn from one another, man. There's times I could have very well enjoyed a water pie, man. Pretty good. You get some of that steely tap water, a little bit of that lead in there, a little bit of that Project Lead. Lead pie.
Do that. My hands are clean. I make sure I wash my hands before I start cooking. And this just makes it easier for me to get it evenly sprinkled directly over the water.
Just put that shit. Come on. All right. I don't know. I never made one. I'm sorry. If I was spreading mayonnaise on my mayonnaise sandwich and this is going to be dinner and this lady just showed up and said, just put that mayonnaise on it. I'd be like, lady, what the hell? This is a mayonnaise sandwich. You got to construct this. All right, here we go.
That is in my pie crust. Now remember, that was that 1.5 cups of water that I put in there.
1.5. Not too much, not too little. You mess it all up.
And I'm just adding 1 cup of sugar and 4 tablespoons of flour. And you just sprinkle that directly over the water. Do not mix it.
All right, so don't mix it. You got to layer. You got to layer it in there. You got to just like it's little seeds, like grass seeds. Just, all right, go ahead.
I know this all sounds really odd, doesn't it? But it
like a mug
worked for our ancestors, and it's gonna work for us. So just trust the process and sprinkle the flour and sugar directly over the water.
So it's basically like a whole cake of bread inside of a pie crust. Okay. I ain't got all day for this. Let's get to the bottom and see what it looked like. Oh, she put more bread in it.
It is going to cook in the hot.
I ain't gonna lie, that's probably delicious. It's probably delicious. Let me get some of that water pie. We need a little bit of water pie. So you cook it for 400 degrees, at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. And then, because it's water. It's water, so you got to cook it twice to make it unwatered. And it's a steam pie. Oh, man.
400-degree oven for 30 minutes, and then I'll be lowering the temperature to 375 for another 30 minutes.
Got to boil that water real good. Does it get solid? Oh, shit.
Let me show you. When I first took it out,
It looked jiggly.
you could tell it was really liquid, but
It's water.
it's sat here for just a couple of minutes and it is already starting to gel up. Once it has cooled down here on the countertop and come to room temperature, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator to let it finish cooling down for a couple of hours, and then we'll slice into it.
She's gonna slosh into it. Let's see her slosh into it.
Cool, it turns into
Nigga, that shit is water. It's probably good as I don't know what. It's all white. If this ain't, oh man, this is Appalachian, man. This is all right. She did a water pie. She did water. She ain't put no cinnamon. No, nothing else. Water, sugar, flour, pie. Water pie.
a wonderful piece of pie. It's easy, doesn't take very many ingredients,
Goddamn right.
and please, if you give it a try, let me know down in the comments what you think and if you have ever eaten it before.
I have never eaten that water pie before, but I will. I'm gonna start. Give it up for the mountain lady. What is her? Come, goddamn it. Let me see her name again. This lady is a pioneer, like an actual pioneer. Great Depression era water pie from the Mountain Patriot Homestead lady. Shout out her. Water pie with the crust and the water. Shit tastes like fluoride, like a mug. It depends. You get good water from the creek. Tastes like creek water pie. Creek water pie. All right, so that's a creek water pie segment of our show. Not like we're gonna do that every week, but you know, black people, white people, we all the same, man. People do what they got to do to get by. Period. During the Great Depression, we're going through that terrible growth period that many of our immigrant friends have gone through. Oh man. So what we got next? Oh, okay. Before I get to the positive stuff that my mama sent me, shout out mama. Shout out Dark Mom. Dark Mom, what up, mama? She's like, baby, you need to read this and try to incorporate it into your show. I said, all right, I'm incorporated. I'm positive. Like I said, you ain't just see the water pie. Come on now. Let me see. What we got? Oh, this is a little bit clown activity, y'all. A little bit of clown activity has taken place. Y'all remember Hurricane Chris? Hey baby. He like my cousin. Anyway, Hurricane Chris used to be a rapper. I guess he is now. I don't know. Blase, blah. And as you might have known, 50 Cent just put together a great music comedy festival in Shreveport, Louisiana. His new base for his TV company, his TV and film production company. Let's put it like that. Anyway, he just put that together. Had a great big weekend. The stars came out. A lot of people came into town. It was a great night, evening, weekend. It was amazing. But you know, whenever people doing something, you know you're doing something when the haters show up. It's just that simple. Even in these videos, I know I'm gonna have a good video when people start showing up and calling me names. I'm like, oh, that's good. So if you think you're making me mad, you're not. You can. Matter of fact, I prefer you got shots to shoot them at me. And I'm saying I'm the roaster. I love that type of shit. Anyway, this is Hurricane Chris. Hurricane. I said it right. This is Hurricane Chris and his thoughts on what happened in Shreveport, in his hometown, and how he's feeling. Smell like hate to me, but you know, y'all let me know what you think. All right, here we go.
Concert in Louisiana and don't book no Louisiana legends and put no bankroll in no Louisiana legends pocket, but you pay the police $500,000. What type of bitch ass shit is that? Nigga, you ain't fucking with my city, nigga. You taking advantage of my city, nigga.
Okay, my first instinct is you a rapper too? You know what I mean? It's your city. What are you talking about? So his beef is apparently that 50 came in town and spent a bunch of money with the cops for protection against, unfortunately ourselves. He put money in the cops' hands, and Hurricane Chris feels like the locals were slighted.
Shit cheap and shit costs way less than it costs where you from. And y'all stupid, slow motherfuckers so crazy that y'all gonna let this nigga come down here and not show no love to Louisiana. This nigga ain't booked no Louisiana artist. This nigga ain't booked Big Papa. This nigga ain't booked B Will. This nigga ain't booked Hurricane. That nigga didn't even go to Baton Rouge and get no boosies or no webbies. Like, nigga didn't fuck with us. Nigga came to take advantage of us. Shreveport had cheap ass land. He came and bought that shit, and a nigga don't give a fuck about fucking with us.
Yeah, but you bought gold chains and shit. I mean, and stuff. I'm trying to be better with not cussing. But yeah, you spend. I mean, it's just. I can't understand that because you didn't take advantage and maximize your potential. You're upset because 50 has now maximized his potential, but not to your specifications. I'm telling you, man. When you start doing something, you got a lot less time to hate. I'm gonna tell you for real. Like, I used to be so judgmental before I started running this show, man. Oh, I don't like this. This movie ain't all that. That ain't all that. But once you start putting that work in, that real work, and I'm not saying Hurricane Chris hasn't paid his dues. I'm sure he did what it was necessary back in the days when it was much more difficult to reach whatever status he's reached. But my point is, if he was currently on his grind and trying to build this city up out the mud, you wouldn't even notice 50 Cent. 50 Cent wouldn't even have been able to come there because you'd already been set up. It's always the talkers, man. But anyway, let's finish hearing what he got to say. And then we also have rebuttal from 50 and a couple of Louisiana artists.
And he just showed you that by paying the police $500,000 when we got young niggas out here starving, when we got young niggas out here.
Why you ain't feeding them? You know what I'm saying? You up on the porch talking. You know what I'm saying? We got to look all up your nostrils. Hold the phone up, nigga.
Killing each other. That fucking money could have went to anything that helped the motherfucking youth. We don't need more money invested into the police, nigga. We need more motherfucking money.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Because niggas be tripping. Stop acting like we don't. Yes, the hell we do. He needed protection in order to have a safe weekend when nobody got hurt. That's a very reasonable thing for him to do. And he's focusing on what the police got paid. Look at all the influx of business opportunities that are going to come because this man got a whole TV movie studio set up in your hometown with the cheap land that you wasn't doing nothing with, that you been with forever while you flossing on records and stuff, letting everybody know how rich you are. How rich is you? How rich are you? Anyway, you got more to say?
Into the community. We need motherfuckers who know the community, who know the people, who willing to put their motherfucking feet on the ground.
Oh, nigga, your feet right there. What are you talking about?
Make a difference with their influence. Fuck your money, nigga. We don't care nothing about it, nigga.
Do you or don't you, though? That's what I'm saying. So now it's F your money. F this. We don't care nothing about you. Blah, 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 blah. In the same breath, why you spending all this money on these police? Why you spend? Because of the rap music. Because there's a bunch of rappers here, and rappers attract violence. Rappers get shot all the time, and rap stuff be happening. Stop acting like it don't. We can pretend. What exactly do you mean by that? What is the rap stuff? How is it that? But we can try to tiptoe around it, but you know it. You know what comes. So we need the police out there. That's what it is. Because niggas can't police theyself, which we should be able to. Don't get me started, man. Go ahead, nigga.
You think these white people ain't been having no motherfucking money in Louisiana, nigga? They using you to come through this motherfucker.
You been had some money in Louisiana.
And to pay the city up. Nigga, they finna use you to rebuild the roads. They not finna use you to help the youth, nigga. Louisiana give a fuck up.
Anyway, enough of that clown. But there's been some rebuttal to that whole thing, and I'm gonna see if I can find some stuff for y'all to see where 50 stands on this and some other Louisiana artists, because to me it just sounds like a hater mad because he ain't get out. It's like if you ain't taking care of your kids and then your baby mother go get a new dude and he coming through for the kids, but you on Instagram Live talking all this stuff about how he ain't the real father and you can't replace him and you should have did something for the other kids in the house. And That's what we talking about. That's how ridiculous that sounds. All right, here go one from. Hold on for a second before I throw it up and let everybody know what it is. This is 50 Cent and Frito Bang. I think I'm pronouncing his name that good. I don't really listen to him, but 50 Cent and Frito Bang respond to Hurricane Chris about not being invited to the Shreveport Fest. All right, here we go. Check it out.
Invited to Human Harmony Festival.
Then I don't know what believe in these fake ass rap niggas, cause you supposed to be a solid nigga. Ask your right hand man how the f he got to Shreveport. Ask him how the f he got to Shreveport. Matter of fact,
This more the same nigga.
on this shit. Yeah, this what your right hand man told me. Say you said.
All right, this 50 Cent. Hurricane Flex, boy, you ain't S. Your stuff is whack. The F you think. Frito Bang, y'all shit gets no play in my ride. In other words, he calling these other guys kind of clowns. Oh, you're not going to play that one song you got, A baby, right? Just went on stage with Master P, LOL. So his point is, and I have more information for this, and I'm going to prepare the show better next time. But his point is, and I've also seen it, but I'm not going to scroll through the internet while y'all waiting for it. But 50 Cent already responded and said, basically, you was trash. You was trash. What you saying is you mad you wasn't on the stage in Shreveport because you from there, but you got one hit and you ain't working. You just standing around hating. You got a whole lot of hating time on your hands. And that's what you doing with it. Bringing more light and shine to the festival. So next year people like, oh man, it's the festival that Chris was hating on and everything else was going on. But yeah, and as it turns out, Bootsy hit the stage. Master P hit the stage. A couple other Louisiana artists hit the stage. So the dude is all loud, wrong, and inaccurate and hating. Get yourself together. Always look in the mirror first. Whenever I have something that goes wrong. The other night, my stream was screwed up. I spent hours trying to figure out what's wrong with the stream instead of looking at what's wrong with me. All right, that's it for that segment. I'm live, baby. Coming to the chat. We yip yapping. We moving right through it. All right. What we got next? I'm coming back on later too. I just wanted to get a couple of these out the way. I'm gonna chop them into better videos if you want to look into it. And I also have a little bit more information, add some more value to them as we go along. Oh, I think it's time for my mama segment. Okay, shout out mama. Ma, this better be good. That's all I'm saying. Baby, maybe you should put this on. Don't worry about those water pies. Just do the... No. I'm sure it's we have very deep, interesting conversations about the state of the world today and the state of our community. Like I said, not a racist, but certainly pro-black. Can't help it. Just, that's what I'm is. I'm concerned. We can't fix everything. We cannot. But my personal issue is the murder rate, man. The way we hate each other, black men and boys. The actualizing, because you guys have to be careful with the things you say, but the that word of our young children and girls and all that other stuff. But I'm concerned about our community. So I'm assuming Mama said this to me is coming from that vibe. Let's check it out. And this video is entitled, let me get a good look at it. Tori and Dan. I guess it's from WBAL Radio in Baltimore. Reverend P.M. Smith discusses what needs to be done in Baltimore. All right, here we go. Let's check it out. What the guy do in Baltimore, y'all? What we gotta do? Come on, man. I screwed up everything. One second. Like I said, you gotta wonder, what did you do? What is your part that you played in all this? Come on now with the history. We back. Here we go to the Reverend. All right, God damn it. I'm still on, y'all. It's still happening. Don't think that it isn't. Why I had to get all janky when it comes to the positive stuff? Don't leave. I promise we're gonna fight the power, y'all. Everybody like, all right, that's it. Call me back when we're doing some twerk dancing videos or something. Can you do that? Is that a thing you know on YouTube? I don't know. Y'all let me know. All right, here we go. This is Tori and Dan, Reverend PM Smith discussed what's needed to be done in Baltimore. Here we go.
Radio 1090, FM 101.5.
You have outlined a clear vision for what you feel East Baltimore needs. Can you just give our listeners a summary of what you feel like needs to be done in East Baltimore?
Piece of bolies. Start cooking them strombolies all the way through, man. You see this company right here? They pretty dope, but my last stromboli was cold in the middle, y'all. Shout out Piece of Bolies. Here we go.
Baltimore for a better living conditions.
It's not just East Baltimore. I think it was Tip O'Neill that said all politics is local. So whatever happens nationally, no big deal to me. It's more important to me who the police commissioner is than who the Secretary of Defense is. It's more important.
True. And that's my message. Whenever I tell people, oh, don't vote, don't worry. I'm not saying don't vote. I'm saying your vote in the presidential election, once it goes through the electoral college, is pointless. These people have been chosen, and the true people in power will continue to be in power. You don't believe it? Who's the president now? But I digress.
To me who the CEO of the public schools rather than the Secretary of Education, because there are basically three things that matter to every citizen in Baltimore: public safety, crime, that emphasizes the quality of life, economic opportunity, not only jobs, but ease up on them taxes and those speed cameras and the water bills, and then educational excellence for my grandkids. Non-existent in Baltimore, and in all three areas.
That's true. We're failing terribly, miserably in all three areas, but go ahead, speak on it.
Every office holder, and I don't call them leaders. I'm old enough to know leadership when I see it. They're just office holders. These office holders get an F in every one of these categories. These are the three things that matter to every citizen in Baltimore, not just East Baltimore.
All right, well, I think you're absolutely.
And I think that's applicable to most of the hood in the country. Most of, I think those issues are applicable in the entire country, but I think they are also in dire straits in most black communities. Most of them. Here we go.
Absolutely right about that, and I think we can agree, and I think the voters probably agree with that too. So the question that Tori and I are always asking is, if the voters believe that and we believe that, why is it that they keep electing the same politicians that don't achieve those particular goals?
Because they told us that the Democrats are the ones for us. Because we think we are synonymous with the bottom. And the Democrats come out there and say, look, we on the bottom too, but they not. Anyway.
The Stockholm Syndrome. Over and over, there's only one party that African Americans vote for in.
I ain't had to say it. I mean, I said it, but he said, you know what I'm saying?
Baltimore City or in the state of Maryland. That's why there's a supermajority on city council and a supermajority in the state legislature. In fact, there has not been there has only been a Democrat city council since 1942. Translation, there has never been a Republican on city council since 1942.
And look how screwed up it is. And this is every Democrat city, AKA where black people live. But we still keep voting for these people like, oh, they're gonna make a difference. They're gonna change. Things gonna change for them. Come on, man. I don't care how you put it. We keep going this way. And don't get it confused. I'm not proposing an exodus to the Republican Party. I'm saying look at the candidates for what they can do for you, particularly on the local level. That fucking presidential shit, you voting that shit, you crazy. You wasting your time and your effort and your money. Trump gonna win probably. And if you don't, trust me, your vote ain't got nothing to do with it. You can believe it if you want. But in your local elections, these are so important. So important. And time again, we just go Democrat or black. Democrat or black. Look at the people's policies. Hold them accountable. And if they screw up when the time is up, don't just vote again because they still black. Nigga, look what have you done? How bumpy your roads been? How much does your kids' school suck? How many people keep getting murdered in your neighborhood? We always offended. Anyway, here we go.
Wow. I was born in 47. Check it out. Google it.
Well,
There has not been a Republican. So we only vote one way. We vote for one party. We vote for a person that we like, a person that sounds like Martin Luther King, a person that promises stuff that they never perform.
But that person is not obligated to do anything. That person doesn't have to do anything. All they got to do is get in there. Be black, keep smiling, be Democrat, get in there.
And
people will call you everything in the world. And like I said, I'm not even advocating for Republicans. And although on paper, Republican is dope. I'm certainly a conservative person on paper. But no matter how you put it, the conservatives harbor the racist. They do. I'm not calling my Republican friends. I'm not in any way, shape, or form. I know too many Republicans who are not nowhere close to that. But I'm not calling every Republican racist. I'm saying every open racist is Republicans. They are. That's where they go. That's where they live. We need to vote in our particular interests. And if that interest, because don't get confused, the liberals are too. They are too. They just use us in a different way. They pretend to be our friends and they use us in a different way. Look at what he's talking about right here in Baltimore. But that's neither here nor there. I can go on for days, but let's go.
We never look at the policies based on values that are counter to our own.
So we're speaking with Reverend P.M. Smith. He's a pastor of Huber Memorial Church. And Reverend Smith, most recently, you specifically called out Senator Jill Carter. She's the chair for the Baltimore City Senate delegation, is known for her progressive approach to many policies. Why did you feel it important to specifically call her out?
She's the face and she's the voice of policies that impact the city of Baltimore. They hug the criminal element. And
so much of our culture does too. That's the thing. We need to disattach ourselves from that bottom mentality. Black and poor are not the same word. They're not synonymous. Black and ghetto are not the same thing. Black and Democrat is not the same thing. They've convinced us it is, but it's not.
they handcuff the citizens. We are hostages in our own homes and communities because she's so soft on criminals. You can consider the age, but here's the reality. Here's the reality. No matter what the age is, when they commit a criminal act, the heinousness of that act is just as heinous, and the death of that individual, that person is just as dead, and I'm the one who deals with the family that's trying to survive.
Right. The pastor. Trying to speak, trying to comfort people after the carnage that we support. That is our culture. And trust me, I'm not one of those people that thinks our culture is exclusively the ratchetness, but it's a tolerated element. It's a tolerated element within our communities. The same way that the Republicans tolerate the overt racist in their party, we tolerate criminality, low morality. I can go on and on with the words. I'm at a loss, but we tolerate that in our communities. We got to clean it up, plain and simple. Here we go.
So stop hugging the criminal and handcuffing the citizen. I was with our state's attorney when he went down there just to get the bill passed with regard to legislation and sentencing. And she was the one who fought it, along with Will Smith. He fought it. Along with Kleppinger, he fought it. I don't understand it. If you're concerned about crime, let's do something to empower the man who's been elected, the person who's been elected by the citizens of Baltimore to reduce the crime. We whine, we cry, we are outraged, but we don't take any action that really impact the crime, the reduction of the crime. For the last 8 years.
A lot of complaining, a lot of talking, no action. I feel you. Or just going the same way that people have told you that you have to go. Come on, man. Preach. I mean, he's an actual preacher. So.
Over 300 homicides. We need to thank our mayor, Stephanie Rollins Blake, for that. and I'm calling her out. We need to thank her for
SRB.
that, because when she told the
She had the DSLs.
lawful authority to stand down, told the police to stand down, then the unlawful authority stands up, and they've been standing up ever since 2015 at Freddie Gray.
So why did they do it? Why is Jill Carter standing up against Ivan Bates, who's was elected to try to make this city safer by passing stronger laws? Do you have any idea what her motivation may be, what her ideology may be?
Well, I think she's being funded by somebody, okay? Because my observation of politicians, they serve their donors for their money, and then they use the voters for our votes. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah. That's why your vote don't mean nothing if you don't control that politician, because the politician going to do where the money came from. Whoever gave them the money, that's the agenda that they're going to follow. That's also my problem with Kamala Harris, because right now she's not doing a lot of policy talks, but you better believe she's done some policy talks, because how else did she raise that money? She's made some promises. She done made some promises. Maybe not to you, who going to vote for her, but to the people who gave her the money, she told them she's going to do something. She's going to do something.
Yeah, so you follow the money, see who donates to her, and you'll see who's supporting the position that she takes. And here's the other thing. I don't think she has a child.
Well, walk us through it, man. Don't just leave us hanging.
I don't think she's a parent. I'm a parent, and I'm still working with young folk. I got a grandson. The sooner you check that bad behavior and correct that bad behavior, the better off he's gonna be. My little grandson was playing in water, and I was telling him that's hot, and he didn't believe me. So you know what I did? Turned on the hot water. All right.
That's that cold-blooded, old school kind of trick. You can't be burning up babies in 2024. Know what I did? Come on, Rev. You can't be burning up them kids. That's that old school. You can't be just out there burning up the babies, man. You gotta do better than that, man. All right. We're gonna get back to him, but I had a moment. I had a moment with my brother. I don't think you can do that. That's another. I think we're a tad bit. I think that also ties into some of our problems. I think we either go extremes, like a lot of times we parent, and there's a lack of parenting, or there's some extreme forms of discipline, like turning on the hot water. I don't know about around your house, but mine's is scalding. I would never do that to a baby. But anyway, go ahead, Reverend Eye for an Eye.
Stuck his hand under there. You know what?
All right, take it easy.
He looks at it and says, which way is hot and which way is cold? And he turns on the cold water. We don't have to worry about him. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So, yeah, and I'm glad you're bringing these points up.
I don't think you submit to that, Rev.
And specifically the point about parent, because I've made this observation as well. I have 4 children, and I really do believe that having children changes your perspective. We have a lot of individuals in office, and I would never say that you need to have children to have office, but I do wonder, because there's a lack of perspective there. I have observed, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I've observed that there seems to be more of a desire to welcome children to lead, right? And I feel like Baltimore City is being governed and being guided by children. The mayor had his squeegee collaborative, and the kids are setting the rules for who's in the room. Do you feel that this invitation and this propensity to make children be part of the leadership has led to some of Baltimore's issues?
Just look.
That's interesting. Do you think? I think that's a small part. It's not like children are leading everything. Childlike minds, perhaps, but children, I don't know. Here and there. But go ahead. Let's see what the Rev has to say.
It's who's holding the office. How old is the mayor? When does he seem most excited? When he's going to run track, when he's bouncing a ball, when he's throwing a frisbee, all right? When somebody interviews
we do have a young man.
He gets upset. Here's the reality. We have given the keys to the car to the kids too soon, and they driving us off the cliff. I ain't sitting there while they drive me off the cliff. I'm taking the keys, I'm taking the wheel, and I'm getting in the driver's seat. That's what we see politically. We got kids driving the car, and although they got their license, we gave them the keys too soon.
I just want to get your response to this. Jill Carter actually responded to you in your comments. She said this: church leaders would be better served our city by focusing on stronger community engagement to help prevent violence instead of playing a blame game to deflect attention from their own failings. What does she mean by
I
that?
have no idea.
Hold on, let's hear that quote again.
Instead of playing a blame game to church leaders would be better served our city by focusing on stronger community engagement to help prevent violence instead of playing a blame game to deflect attention from their own failings. What does she mean?
I feel like what he's doing now is reaching out to the community. I mean, he's on the radio. You know what I mean? He's trying to reach out and speak to people. And blame game, I mean, the thing about the blame game is sometimes in order to address a problem, we need to identify it. And sometimes that comes with a certain amount of blame. So I don't think what he's doing right now is necessarily the blame game. Perhaps he may, like I always say, want to take a look at what part he may have played in his life to where, helping us get to where we are today. Has he had any shortcomings? Has he fell short in any way that would have, could he have preached more? Did he leave a nephew? Did you used to be on drugs, but now you know what I mean? So I think some of those things may soothe people's feelings because, black people are so sensitive, but that may make black people a little bit more receptive to your message, because we like to turn around. But not, what about what you did, Rev? What about when you was on the drugs and stuff, Rev? So I think that's what they're trying to get at.
I have no idea what she means. She's certainly not talking about Huber Memorial Church. We have our own school. We're in the public school after school with Sunday school. We have our own recreation league. What are you talking about? We have the largest African-American boy and Cub Scout unit in the city. What's she talking about?
So he's saying he's clearly reaching out. He's doing his thing. He don't know about everybody else, but he's doing his thing.
She haven't been there. By the way, what faith community is she a part of? That may be part of the problem because we're facing a situation where there's no political solution. In 1965, when I graduated from high school, there were 22 persons on city council, 2 African Americans. Today, 14 people on city council, 9 African Americans. Has there been a difference?
No, not at all.
In fact, it's worse.
In fact, it's worse. Remember that when you're voting black just to vote black. And of course I want a black candidate. Shit, who don't? Feels good. Looks good. But is it though? Is it? I'm just saying we scrutinize our black candidates.
Because all of them in leadership position, right? And in my day, you could not get in elective office unless somebody said, well, does your pastor support you? The only reason I supported Ivan Bates is because he was a part of a strong church and I knew his pastor.
Shout out to Ivan Bates. I owe you like $500. I swear to God, I'm going to get it to you.
And he is submitted to the leadership of his pastor. Ask any of them what faith community they are part of. Where do you get your values from? Where do you get your morals from? See, they want to throw money at a moral issue.
Actually, I paid it from a third-party collection place. You should look into that because I got an email anyway.
There's no political solution. There's no economic solution. There's no educational solution to a moral and spiritual problem. So you asked her what she's talking about. See, she's a lawyer. I did that for 10 years, and I was more successful than her. Do you understand? I'm smarter than her when it comes to that arena, okay? All she got is a name, her daddy's name. If she didn't have her daddy's name, where would she be?
Well, Jill Carter's welcome to come on the show anytime.
Yeah,
You heard the invitation.
That was a little petty, Judge. You ain't had to. Rev, you ain't had to shoot back. I mean, I guess he's still human, and he was somewhat offended, but he ain't had to clap back. He was bigger than that.
Let's extend it out there.
I'll take the other mic if she want to talk.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Before we let you go, Reverend Smith, I just want to get your advice for those of us that are outsiders, because I'm not even from Maryland. I was raised in Idaho, and I'm an outsider. And this is a frequent accusation that Dan and I constantly get. Well, you're not from Baltimore. You don't know. You don't have a voice on this. What should people? A lot of our listeners are from Baltimore County, Anne Arundel County, Harford County. What should those of us that are on the outside do to help or support you and the work that your colleagues are doing in the city?
Stay the fuck out the way. No, I'm just kidding.
All politics is local. You do not live in the city. let me talk to you about values. Look at this. Responsibility and accountability. We got to talk about personal responsibility and personal accountability. Where does that exist and who's making that argument in the city? Then we have to talk parental responsibility and parental accountability.
Yes. Yes. These teenage gangsters ain't coming from nowhere.
If you are 12 years old, why are you down the inner harbor? You my
by
kid,
yourself,
you down by yourself
at 11 o'clock at night.
Facts.
Parental responsibility and societal responsibility. Let's get it right. Personal responsibility, nobody wants to deal with that. Accountability flows with that responsibility, and parental responsibility. Parental responsibility gives birth to accountability, and then society. We want the mayor to set the curfew for my kid. That ain't his job. My job is
right. That ain't his job. Woo. Your job take care of your kids.
to have the curfew for my kids. I was going to my senior prom, right? I'm driving, and I thought I could hang out. I said, "What time you want me back, Dad?" My father said, 11:15. I'm driving. I got a
It's the same father that be burning up kids in the hot water.
girl. I'm in the tux. Right? What time was I back?
11:15.
Absolutely. Right? And see, it starts in the family.
Right. Strong father, strong, mother, family unit. The things that the other side advocate for. While the Democrats are telling you that everything is fine. Let's champion this. Let's normalize single motherhood. A family is anything. Anybody together, the group is the family. We're all, I'm telling you.
Children desperately need discipline.
Yeah.
And order and structure.
Say it.
Right? It starts in the family. There's a hierarchy in the family. And when that hierarchy no longer exists, there will be anarchy.
Go ahead, Reverend. I'm going to get my shit right. Let's say no hierarchy, there will be anarchy. See, black people think his shit rhyme is right, but that one might be on. If the glove doesn't fit, one must acquit. No hierarchy, no anarchy.
That's true.
And that's what you're seeing in the city now. We need a hierarchy. We need somebody who's going to be in charge, somebody who's going to bite the bullet, somebody who's willing to be the bad guy. If that's me, then that's me. I was the bad guy in my house, right?
I'm the bad guy in mine, too.
Okay.
Someone has to lead.
And
Someone
that's
has
what
to
I'm
lead.
saying.
I feel him on that shit. Yeah, somebody got to take that heat. Somebody got to be willing to stand out there and lead out front.
Hierarchy. We're talking about order. We're talking about discipline. We're talking about structure. We're talking about authority. We're talking about boundaries. We're talking about consequences, and we're talking about discipline. Without those A, B, C's, and D's, there will be a pipeline to prison. Cops, courts, and incarceration. That's what we're seeing.
Reverend Smith, thank you so much for your time.
Woo! That was some fire, Reverend Smith. I'll be down there this weekend. I probably won't, but I could. It's possible. Thank you for everybody tonight that came through in the afternoon. I'm just rambling now. We had the water pie, everybody. Don't forget to watch the water pie. We had the good Reverend, and then we had 50 Cent and Hurricane Chris. I'll be back in a couple hours. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all. And till next time,